Okay, everybody. First of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And first, want to give a happy Mother's Day shout out to all the mothers out there. Hope you all had a great day. But this video here, video number 3, hopefully you guys get the word out and get everybody to watch this before tomorrow night's board meeting. I'm going to share some information with you that previously I was advised not to, but after some new revelations or some new happenings, it became appropriate for me to go ahead and share this information. I'm going to pull my screen up. We're going to get right into the nitty gritty here, and let's get this screen shared, and we're going to get right into the information. So Truth Revealed Part 3, what happens in the dark? Shady practices exposed. Okay, so first things first is, in case you don't know, there's a board meeting tomorrow night, and I'm going to suggest that everybody get to that meeting. Like literally the entire city should be at that meeting, because you guys have some questions that you should be asking and demanding answers for. Okay, and I'm going to give you those questions, and I'm going to give you all the information. And this one's going to be a shocker to some of you. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at the public notice that was sent out on Friday. Now, take a look at this here. There was really not anything that to the untrained eye or the unsuspecting eye that would pop out, with the exception of, you know what to look for, a correction to minutes. There were 4 closed sessions on January 19th. What was happening on January 19th of this year? There was the selection of a new superintendent happening. Very, very important, right? So these are closed sessions for the board of directors to decide who's going to be the next superintendent. All right, so the challenge here is, if you were to go to the district website and take a look at the minutes they're proposing to correct, and I don't know what they're proposing to correct on these minutes, but after we go through them, because I've actually got them here for you. But if you were to go look for them, you can't find them. They're not on the website. Right here, I took a screenshot with timestamp on it on my phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, May 4th. 2 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep. I got up, started putting together some stuff, and I went to go look. I was like, oh, wait a minute, something's missing. Right there. There should be minutes that say 119, closed session, but they're gone. And how do I know that they were there before? Because I personally downloaded them, and I have them for you today. So first question that all of you need to be asking is, why would minutes that were previously there all of a sudden not be there? What happened? What could have caused that? So May 4th, there were 4 days before that. On April 30th, if you remember, is when I released my first video via YouTube that had over 3,300 views, right? 3,200 or 3,300 views, caused quite a stir. I'm sure it had some people sweating and a little bit nervous, right? So 4 days later, all of a sudden, the minutes surrounding the closed sessions of the selection of a new superintendent are gone, right? So what was in those minutes? Let's take a look. Being they're not on the website, I'll go ahead and give them to you here, right? So here's the first session, and I'm just going to tell you, there's something here that doesn't belong. One of these things is not like the other. There's somebody in this meeting on the roll call vote that shouldn't be there. In the next meeting, the same person's name appears on the roll call vote. In the next meeting, the same person's name on the roll call vote. And then in the final meeting, when the vote was given for your new superintendent, that person was on the roll call vote and actually, according to the official minutes, cast a vote. Problem is, this person is not on the board of directors and hadn't been on the board of directors since from August the previous year, when they had resigned from the board effective July 31st and was installed at principal at George Washington School. My question is, how does this happen? How does a person who's not on the board of directors end up casting a vote for the new superintendent along with the board of directors, be involved in a meeting? with the board of directors. All right. So there are some questions and you all deserve to know the answers. First and foremost, why was Russ Durr allowed to be present in these closed sessions? Now, I'm sure that the board is going to scramble and come up with some type of defense, something like, well, he wasn't there. That was a mistake. Okay, let's say it was a mistake. If he wasn't actually there, how is that same mistake repeated on 4 separate sets of minutes? I could see a typo here, one, but there were 4 different closed sessions. 4 times. Okay. Next question is, if it was an error, how did all 7 board members then overlook that error when they voted to approve them? When they voted to, because in case you don't know how school board meetings work, and when you have a meeting, the very next meeting, before that meeting, each board member, right, gets a packet for the things that are to be pre-approved, to be approved, to be entered into the official record, right? So it's not like they only have a couple set before that meeting. They go through it, and if they see something that does not belong, they're like, hey, we need to make a correction to the minutes. But they didn't make any correction to the minutes the next meeting. They had packets. Every single one of them went through it, and they approved it. How do I know that? Well, let's take a look right here. As you can see, right? Consent, agenda, meeting minutes of all 4 of the closed sessions, personnel that I just went through with you on January 19th, 2023. So then that asks a question. You got to either or. Which is it? Was there fraud, a fraudulent vote, or was there negligence? Which one is it? Is the entire board negligent? Did the entire board not review their minutes? I find that hard to believe. Or was there a fraudulent vote cast? Did somebody, somehow manipulate the board members and the superintendent to be put in position to control what was happening? Great question. Now, the next question is how was this oversight brought to the board's attention, and why was it not till 3.5 months later? I mean, what is there? Is there like a routine was there just a random audit and somebody said, hey, this doesn't look right? It seems very suspicious to me that just 4 days after a YouTube video that's causing a stir all over the place and has over 3,000 views, that the minutes come up missing. And that leads into the next question, is why were the minutes removed before the new ones are approved? Your board meeting is tomorrow night where they're to approve corrections. What corrections are going to be made? There's not a lot on that sheet. I mean, it's very hard to miss anything, like it's 1 page. Okay. So you mean to tell me that you got 7 people, and along with the board secretary and probably the superintendent that reviews this, you got 9 sets of eyes that looked at these minutes and didn't catch a person that wasn't supposed to be there? Very hard for me to believe. Okay, but maybe there's a logical explanation. I hope there is, because the implications are staggering. What are the implications if the vote was invalid or illegal? Do we even have a superintendent right now? Why was this person, if they were there, why were they allowed to be there? And how did they coerce or manipulate the board and the superintendent to allow this to happen? These aren't small questions. This one cannot be brushed aside. This one cannot be excused. Whether it's fraud or negligence, neither one is acceptable. So here's what I'm proposing. I'm proposing that the public tomorrow night demand that the board members release the audio recording of each of those roll calls. And I know it was a closed session, and they cannot hide behind the law, because the law states that you can't disclose what was discussed. However, the roll call vote is public record. Audio of the roll call vote for each of those meetings should be released to the public, and then there should be an official investigation launched by the county attorney into the authenticity of whatever audio is released. What's going on, you guys? There's a lot more going on than this, and there's a lot more going on that I know about that I can't tell you about, but I'm going to tell you this. This here needs to be answered tomorrow night. Why are they trying to correct these minutes? Why are those minutes missing before the meeting to even approve the corrections? And why does it appear that a person who was not a board member cast a vote for your new superintendent, or even had anything to do, any input in those discussions? So, like I said, this meeting is going to be short. That's it. I'm not going through anything else. Everything else is the chips fall where they may. I ain't got to prove nothing. It is what it is. Okay. So now it's time for Keokuk to take a stand for the truth. Time for you to demand the truth and nothing less. No more games. All right. It is time for those who have been manipulating you and been, manipulating the process for their own personal gain to be held to account, and they will have their day. All right. And I really hope, maybe this is all a big misunderstanding, but I don't know. It looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. My mama told me it's a duck. So God bless you all. And I hope that this gets you guys asking questions. Don't forget, man, you guys got to show up tomorrow night in force. All right. Take a stand for your school district and for your community and demand truth. So God bless you all. God bless Keokuk. I know he's watching over you guys. I'm praying for you. God bless our state, and God bless the United States of America. Have a great night.